Julio Foolio, a.k.a. Charles Jones, he was a Jacksonville rapper who went to Tampa, Florida the weekend of June 22nd, 2024. And he went down there to celebrate his 26th birthday. He traveled down there with several men, one being Robert Howard. While they were in Tampa, 5 individuals was plotting and planning in the background. Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, Rashad Murphy, and the only female in the group, Alicia Andrews. What was supposed to be a fun-filled trip that weekend would turn deadly for Julio Foolio.
Did you have any indication from Isaiah Chance that the night that you came down, or the next night, or the weekend, you were in danger?
Yes, ma'am.
From the crime scene to the paperwork, we get the details to build a timeline. The devil is in the details. Let's ride. In part 1 of this trial ride, I covered the road trip of those 5 individuals who went to Tampa to target Julio Foolio. They traveled from Jacksonville, Florida to Tampa, Florida. And by 8 p.m., they ended up at an Airbnb booked by Rashad Murphy. Let's take a look at the details of what happened after they got to the Airbnb.
When you get to the door and you get inside, how are you able to actually get inside?
Isaiah lets me in.
All right. And when you get inside, is it just yourself, Isaiah, and Sean Gathright inside?
Yes.
And where do you go?
Upstairs.
Are there any rooms downstairs?
No.
And upstairs, what's upstairs?
2 beds in the bathroom. 2 bedrooms in the bathroom.
Did you choose to occupy one of the bedrooms?
Yes.
All right. What did you do while you were sitting in the Airbnb from the time you got? Well, let me ask you this: did you get there around 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.?
Yes.
And what did you do for the next few hours?
I was in the bed.
What were you doing in the bed?
Scrolling through Netflix, trying to find a show. Then I was on my phone a little bit.
At any point in time while you were upstairs, did Isaiah Chance and Sean Gathright leave?
Yes.
Do you know where they went?
No, Isaiah told me, be right back real quick. He left.
All right. Did you ask him where he was going?
No.
Did they include you in their travel plans?
No.
At the time, were you hungry?
Yes.
All right. Were you looking for something to eat?
Yes, on DoorDash.
What were you looking for?
Some Pizza Hut.
All right. And is that the Instagram post that we've seen throughout the trial?
Yes.
All right. Did you ultimately order Pizza Hut?
No, they were high.
When you say they were high, what do you mean by that?
I was trying to get like 10-piece wings and a small pizza. I didn't want to buy it. It's too high.
Okay. Would you expect Isaiah to be buying food for you while you're away?
Yes.
So Alicia says that after they got to that Airbnb around 8 o'clock, she started chilling. Then got comfortable in one of the bedrooms and all that. Now, she don't mention Rashad and Davion, but we know that they arrived around 8 o'clock too. Now, she said that shortly after getting there, Sean and Isaiah left. And I suspect they left between 9:30 and 9:45. At 10:01 p.m., Alicia made a post about Pandora necklaces being cute. And they really are. I can't even lie about that. And then at 10:02 p.m., Alicia makes this post right here about Pizza Hut and why they're so high. But here's the thing. At 10:03 p.m., Sean's phone is pinging at Teasers. The spot where Julio was supposed to be, according to his flyer. The flyer said his celebration was from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Now, Teasers was about 10 minutes from their Airbnb. And that's why I said I suspect they left that Airbnb between 9:30 and 9:45 so they can make it there by 10. So why did they even go there at 10 o'clock? Were they trying to catch Julio there at that time? I don't know. Were they trying to scope the place? And where was Rashad and Davion? Did they ride with him? They stayed at Teasers until about 10:30, 10:45. And unfortunately for them, Julio was not there, so they went back to the Airbnb. So here's the thing. At this point, they gotta be trying to figure out where the hell Julio is.
Do you know, at the time, did you know an individual named Kyla Enright?
No.
Did you know that Sean Gathright was talking to an individual named Kyla Enright?
No, I do not.
Did you know that Sean Gathright was texting an individual named Kyla Enright?
No.
At this time, had anybody told you anything about Julio Foolio?
No.
That night, Sean started texting a girl by the name of Kyla, and he wanted her to help him find out where Julio was. He wanted her to reach out to somebody in Julio's group that they referred to as Fat Boy. At 12:32 a.m., Sean sent her a text and said, "I need y'all to text Fat Boy." And she was like, "About what?" And he like, "Hey sis, I need you to text Fat Boy and tell him you trying to pull up. You trying to see him tonight." So he tells her that Fat Boy is at an Airbnb with Julio, and he's trying to find out where the Airbnb is. So Kyla talks to Fat Boy. Had to, okay? And at 12:48, Kyla responds to Sean and say, "Fat Boy is going to Teasers tonight," or some shit like that. And I was like, bless her little heart. She said Teasers, but we all know she meant Teasers. And at 1:25 a.m., Sean asked Kyla, "Is he there yet?" And she responded, "No," at 1:28 a.m. And guess what? No, Julio was not there. Julio was still at his Airbnb.
Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying? Everybody take this shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3. Got my brother with me, you know, popped out for my birthday, you know that time. Oh, God,
They were kicking it. I mean, and kicking it so hard that they got kicked out of the Airbnb. Damn. So while Julio is getting kicked out of the Airbnb, Sean communicating with Kyla about where Julio is. And Alicia is thinking about food.
I texted him and said I was hungry.
And then, after you text him, what happened?
I think he said, I don't even think he responded. I think he just came back and asked me, he was like, what do you want to eat?
Did you make a decision about what you wanted to eat?
I said, I'll get McDonald's.
Okay. And what happens next?
He told me to hold on. He went downstairs.
And what happened?
He comes back and say, "Come on."
And what did you do?
I mean, I got up and went.
Did you get in any particular car at that time?
Yes, it was the gray car.
All right. And did he tell you to get inside of that car?
Yes.
And you got into which seat?
The passenger seat.
The front or back passenger?
Hey, what you mean front or back?
Front seat or back seat?
Oh, the front seat.
Okay. And when you got in the vehicle, who was in the vehicle?
Isaiah comes outside and Davion.
And who sat where?
Davion gets in the front seat and Zay gets in the back seat.
Why did Davion get in the front seat as opposed to Isaiah Chance?
I mean, I wouldn't know what they said before they came out, so I don't know why he got in the front. But I assumed it was because he wanted food too, so he came.
At the time, did you know Davion Murphy?
No.
Had you ever seen him before?
No.
And when you got in the car, did he say anything to you?
No.
All right. Did you think that it was weird that he was sitting in the front seat next to you?
Yeah, I didn't know he was going.
So 10 minutes after Sean finished texting Kyla and finding out that Julio was going to Teasers, at 1:40 a.m., Isaiah, Davion, and Alicia left the Airbnb in the silver Chevy Cruze, headed to McDonald's. Now, McDonald's is about 8 minutes away from the Airbnb. They pulled into McDonald's at 1:47 a.m.
When you get to McDonald's, do you order food?
Yes.
And who pays for the food?
I think it was Isaiah. I think he paid half and I did the other half. I can't remember.
There's a point in the McDonald's video that we've seen where Davion Murphy is lighting some sort of cigarette or blunt. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember not just the video, but do you remember the actual event in the car?
Yeah, I remember.
And when he was doing that, what did you do?
Nothing.
Why did you do nothing?
I mean, I don't know him. It's his car.
I wonder why her lawyer asked her that. I mean, okay, Davion was smoking in the car. What was she supposed to say to him? I mean, were they trying to insinuate that maybe she was scared of him? I don't know, but that didn't mean nothing to me. I was more concerned about why the hell she wasn't wearing no mask. But we'll talk about that later on in the video.
When you left McDonald's, well, you did leave McDonald's at some point, right?
Yes.
All right, and then at some point, does Davion get out of that car?
Yes.
And is it just you and Chance?
Yes.
Now, don't forget, Davion, Isaiah, and Alicia are in the silver Chevy Cruze. And we know that at 1:52 a.m., they still in the drive-thru at McDonald's, waiting on their food. And they ordered a lot of food, okay? At 2 a.m., somebody using Alicia's phone sent a live location to Sean's phone. A live location is when you let a person know where you are at that very moment. At 2:09 a.m., Alicia received an incoming call from Sean, but that call was not completed. Now, we heard Alicia say that at some point, Davion got out of the car, which means it's now just Alicia and Isaiah in the silver Chevy Cruze, the surveillance team. So it seems to me, Sean and Rashad were together in the black Chevy Impala, and once Sean was sent the live location to where Alicia and them were, Sean and Rashad picked up Davion. So now, Rashad, Davion, and Sean, they're all in the black Chevy Impala, the shooters. So they done got their food, they done ate good, they ready to ride. Let the games begin.
After you leave McDonald's, do you go to a club?
Yes.
Do you know the name of this club?
I mean, I know the name now. It's Teasers.
At the time, did you know the name?
No.
Why did you not know the name at the time?
I mean, it was kind of irrelevant. I didn't remember. We didn't go in it, so.
You did not go in the club, but why did you go there?
We were thinking about going in there.
Whose idea was it to go to this place?
Isaiah.
And did you follow his idea?
Yeah, he said he was taking me out.
Did you have any reason to think that he was doing anything wrong or illegal?
At the time, no.
So when they left McDonald's, they headed to Teasers. Now, Teasers was about 10 minutes away from that McDonald's. There were cameras at Teasers, and we learned that the timestamp on those cameras was off by 7 minutes and 23 seconds.
First,
This is at the south east corner of the building, pointing west, and it covers the front door. To the right there, that gray door, that's the front entry into the club.
and what is the timestamp, and can you give us what the correct actual time would be?
Yeah, timestamp's 2:16:50 right now, and it's 7 minutes and 23 seconds slow. So the correct time frame would be closer to 2:24, 2:25.
So at roughly 2:24 a.m., you see the black Charger that Julio is riding in pull up to the front door of Teasers. And then, not even a minute later, at roughly 2:25, you see Alicia and Isaiah in that silver Chevy Cruze pull into the parking lot and park.
When you got to this club, did you all park?
Yes.
And where did you park?
I believe it was the back of the parking lot.
Was that the only space available at the time?
Yes.
And were you driving?
No.
Well, let me ask you this. At any point in time during that night, did you drive the vehicle?
No.
So you see, they've parked in that back parking lot. And I'm going to show you the layout in just a moment. So once they park, they sit in the car for a few minutes. I wonder what they was talking about. Now, you see at about 2:28 a.m., Isaiah and Alicia, they get out the car and they begin to walk across the parking lot. Pay attention.
If you can remember sort of what's happening in this moment, can you tell the members of the jury?
I was walking, then he stopped me and said, "Let me see your phone."
At this time, are you trying to conceal your identity at all?
No.
Are you ducking or hiding or crouching behind any vehicles?
No, I'm just walking.
Are you stopping when he stops?
Yes.
And are you following him?
Yes.
Do you know what he's doing with your phone?
At the time, I just assumed he was trying to call someone and they wasn't answering.
Did he talk to anyone in that clip?
No.
Now let's go back a few seconds. Look at this screenshot right here. Now, they're halfway through the parking lot when Alicia said that Isaiah stopped her and asked her if he could use her phone. And she let him use the phone. But understand this, every time he used her phone, she got to put a code in it to unlock it. So she unlocks it, and it appears that Isaiah is making a phone call. And again, this is at 2:29 a.m. That phone call was not on the call detail report, which suggests that the call was made through an app on her phone. So in other words, they're trying to conceal the phone call, okay? And then another thing, take note of what they're wearing. Alicia said that Isaiah was supposed to be taking her out. You heard her. But look at what she has on. Some blue jeans, a blue jean jacket, and some Crocs. So that's what she was going to wear to the club? Nah, I don't believe that. Look at how this girl was dressed just to hang around her family. So in my mind, she is not dressed for the occasion. And not only that, her and Isaiah both have on COVID masks. Why? Looks like the surveillance team is trying to be incognito right now. After making that phone call, probably to Sean, they leave the camera view, and it's still 2:29 a.m. And at that same time, at around 2:30 a.m., you see Julio at the entrance to Club Teasers, headed inside. I think they spotted Julio at that front door. And when they spotted him, Isaiah and Alicia made their way back to the silver Chevy Cruze. So let me show you what they just did. Here go Teasers right here, okay? And you can get into the parking lot off of Nebraska this way. Or you can come around and make this right here on Castle. Now, the entrance to Teasers is right there. Right where you see that girl at. And in the video, we see Julio parked in the front of the entrance. Right along here. There go the entrance right there. Then if you take Castle, like Isaiah and Alicia did, it brings you to the back parking lot. And we seen Alicia and them pull in this way. They pulled in that way, and then they parked along this fence right here. And they sat there for a minute. And then when they got out, they walked around this way. And somewhere in here is where Alicia said Isaiah asked to use her phone. And then you see them walk off camera. Remember I said they went off camera. So they had to come this way. And it's a clear view of the front entrance where Julio is. And don't forget, Julio's parked out here in the front. Then Alicia and them, in my opinion, spot Julio, and then they walk back to their car. There go the camera right there. They caught them. When we see them walking back to their car, that's the camera. And they walk back to that car parked along this fence. Let's get a little closer. There go the camera right there. And they're parked along this fence. And again, they got out, walked this way, stopped, used the phone. They stopped over in here, used the phone, and then walked toward the entrance. I don't think they went up to the entrance, but they were close enough to see Julio standing right over here. Right there. They saw him, and then they passed this away. They passed that camera again, right here, and went back to their car and sat for a moment. So Alicia and Isaiah make it back to their car at 2:30. There they go with the lights on. And during this time, they must be trying to call Sean again through that app, because the calls aren't on the call detail report. So they're trying to call Sean, and he won't answer, which is why at 2:31 a.m., they had to send Sean a message telling him to pick up the fucking phone. And a few seconds later, still at 2:31 a.m., Alicia and Isaiah made an outgoing call to Sean that was answered. It was completed. I don't know what happened with that call. I don't even know what they talked about. I can only imagine. But then they tried to call Sean back again at 2:32 and was not able to reach him. And then all of a sudden, Isaiah just pulled off.
Where do you go after that?
It was another club called Players Club.
At the time, did you know the name of that location?
No.
And who decided to go to the second spot?
He picked it.
Did you know of any clubs in Tampa?
No.
When you got to the second location, what happened?
We get out, walk across the street, and he walked up to the guy that they work at the front door. He asked him how much was to get in.
So at this second location, you said, who asked how much it is to get in?
Isaiah asked the bouncer.
And what happened when you asked?
I don't remember the exact words, but he told him a price, and I guess he didn't like the price, so he just walked off.
Did you all stay there for any period of time?
Yes.
It was a short period of time?
Yeah.
And when you didn't go into the second location, what were you thinking?
Nothing much, like maybe he just didn't want to go in.
Were you also wearing a mask at the second location?
Yes.
Now this Players Club is on Hillsborough, and it's about 7-8 minutes away from Teasers. Alicia says that they went to this Players Club, and once again, they didn't go in, claiming that it cost too much. So what was Alicia and Isaiah doing there? I mean, they wasn't there long, but still, what were they doing there? They had just seen Julio at Teasers, so they couldn't have been looking for him. They already knew where he was. In court, there was a lot of confusion surrounding this.
All right, that the phone is at Players Club.
Correct. I know they were there at 2:40.
So Alicia's phone is pinging near the Players Club at 2:40 a.m. And that makes sense to me, because we seen them leave Teasers at 2:32, and then 8 minutes later, they're near the Players Club. Yeah, that makes sense to me. But again, what were they doing there? Were they looking for Sean and them? I don't know. What y'all think? Because Sean and them headed to Teasers. Pay attention.
And what are we seeing in this clip at the front door again?
This is fast forwarded now approximately 20-30 minutes when the victim's exiting.
At this point, had we ever seen the black Chevy Impala that we had seen connected with the 3 shooters at Home to Suites?
Not up to this point.
And again, this is earlier in the night than when the Home to Suites video was shown. Is that correct?
Correct.
What are we seeing now?
Now we're seeing in the top right corner, we're seeing the black Impala for the first time in the Teasers cameras. It's arriving in the parking lot around the same time that the victim is exiting out of the front door.
And at this point, had the silver Chevy Cruze already came and parked, went up to the area around the door, and then gone back into the vehicle and left?
Correct.
What's being seen in this angle?
This is another angle of that black Impala there in the top right, circling the parking lot and making its way back out onto Castle, to the front of the club.
At 2:54 a.m., Julio and his entourage, they leaving the club. They about to leave Teasers. And as they're leaving, at 2:55 a.m., Sean and them pull in the black Chevy.
What can you see now?
The black Impala is now traveling on Castle, and at this point it's stopped directly in front of the Charger.
So the victim's vehicle, the Charger, is now closely connected to where that black Chevy Impala is. Is that correct?
Yes.
Damn, that's crazy. At 2:55 a.m., Julio and his entourage, they leaving the club. They leaving Teasers. And Rashad, Davion, and Sean, his killers, they right there in front of him. And he don't even know it.
You're not scared of Rashad Murphy having done anything or anything like that?
No, no.
How about had you got to Teasers, pulled up outside, and seen Rashad Murphy in the parking lot, would you have been concerned about that?
Yes, ma'am.
How about if you went to those locations and you saw Alicia Andrews and Isaiah Chance in the parking lot?
Yes, ma'am.
You would have been concerned.
Yes, ma'am.
You would have known it's not normal.
Yes, ma'am.
As you saw in the video at Teasers, the black Chevy didn't stop and park. They just rode around the parking lot. So not only were they looking for Julio, I wonder if they was looking for Alicia and Isaiah, their surveillance team. I'm sure there was calls made, but because they making these calls through that app, those calls are going undetected. But it would explain why at 2:58 a.m., Isaiah or Alicia sent a live location showing Sean exactly where they were.
So this GPS screenshot is taken right next to the Players Club?
Yes, it was taken right next to Players Club, and if you notice at the top, South Castle Court, that's the street that Teasers Club is on. So it looks to me like this is a screenshot of a map navigation leaving Players Club and going back to Teasers Club.
Okay.
So Alicia and Isaiah are headed back to Teasers, and they trying to hurry up and catch up with Sean and them, and Julio. At this point, they ready to start tracking Julio and following his every move. And you know Julio and his entourage probably high and drunk as shit. It's his birthday. They turned. And at this point, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and they still going, according to Julio's friend Robert.
Did you leave the club at some point?
Yes, sir.
Why?
The show was over. It was closed. I think it was ending.
Okay. And where did you go after that?
Went to another club.
Did you go somewhere else after that?
Yes.
Where'd you go next?
Truth 18.
At the time, did you know what Truth 18 was, the name of it?
No.
Did you know who was going to be there?
No.
Did you ask Isaiah Chance to go to Truth 18?
No, he picked that.
Did he ask you for permission to go there?
No.
The Truth 18 Lounge is a hookah lounge located in the Busch Gardens area in Tampa, and it's about 7 minutes away from Teasers. At 3:18, you see Julio and his entourage pull into the parking lot of Truth 18. There they go. They still ready to turn up. It's his birthday. And then shortly thereafter, you see the silver Chevy Cruze pull in right behind them.
Detective, can you tell us what's happening at this point?
Yes, the victim's entourage had arrived to the parking lot and they parked, and at this point some of the entourage is loitering in the parking lot on the bottom of the screen there. Leo Albritton, Camille Bentley, some gentlemen off to the right.
And can you tell where those vehicles are related to the victim's party?
Yes, there is one on the north side of the screen, Armani Turner's Hyundai, and then the black Nissan Altima, and then the victim's Charger's off screen to the right.
Slightly off screen, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then what are we seeing here?
We are seeing the victim and his entourage walking up the stairs up to the front of Truth 18 that's off to the right there.
And approximately what time is it converting the time to real time?
This was approximately 3:27 a.m.
And this is occurring after the victims had already been to Teasers nightclub, is that correct?
Correct.
And what's going on now?
The victim is starting a live stream on his Instagram.
And is that the Instagram video that we saw earlier?
Yes.
What's being viewed now on the video?
This is a recording of that Instagram live stream that he posted on his stories.
Julio and his entourage entered Truth 18 at around 3:30 a.m. And Julio was recording himself going into this club, and he posted it to his social media. Now, I get why people do this. I've never done it, but I get it. You just have to understand that posting your location is not always a good thing, especially in this case. Julio is sharing his location, and all the while, the shooters, the surveillance team, they watching, plotting, and planning.
When you get to Truth 18, what do you do?
We sit there first, then we get out. He just starts to walk. He still has my phone, so I just walk after him.
Okay. Do you know if he talks to anyone while he's on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what app he's using to communicate with individuals?
No, at the time I didn't know.
Do you know if he's talking on FaceTime with anyone?
I believe it was FaceTime at that club that one time.
At Truth 18?
Yes.
And do you know who he was talking to at the time?
No.
When he's talking to the individual at Truth 18, there's a photograph that you've seen in evidence of the downstairs at Truth 18. You remember that photograph?
Yeah, I remember it.
All right. At the time that the photograph was taken, did you take the photograph?
No.
All right. From looking at it, what can you tell about that photograph?
I remember him flipping the camera because we came to a stop, and he said, like, man, he said that, man, this shit crowded. And he flipped the camera and was showing somebody on the phone.
Okay. Do you know who he was showing that on the phone?
No.
And when you say he was showing it on the phone, this is like he's showing it live?
Yes.
All right. And do you know how that live viewing became a screenshot photograph in your phone?
I think he just took a screenshot of it.
At the time, even though you didn't know exactly who he was talking to, did you, I guess, figure that it was one of the three men?
Yes, because he also said, where y'all at?
Did he say anything about Julio Foolio?
No.
Did he show you a firearm or anything like that?
No.
Did he say anything about wanting to kill Julio Foolio in front of you?
No.
So here we are at the third club, Truth 18, another club they did not go into. And here's my issue with Alicia. At the start of the night, she told us Isaiah told her he was taking her out, remember? They done hit all these clubs and didn't go in now one of them. Whether it be the price too high, it's too crowded. Not to mention, they ain't even dressed for no club action. And he got her walking around in a damn COVID mask. If she had no idea what was going on, she should have been pissed.
All right. Do you ask him why you're not going inside?
Well, I think I did, yeah.
And do you want to go inside at this point?
Not really.
Why not?
We already been to two places. It was getting late, so I didn't really care to go nowhere else. He chose that place.
All right. At this point, what do you want to do?
Get some food.
This shit sounds stupid to me. Who do she think she fooling? So they walk around outside this club, and at some point, Isaiah FaceTime Sean and them. And according to Alicia, he turns the camera around and snapped this photo right here. This photo was taken at 4:10 a.m. And although you can't see too much in the background, even though Isaiah tried to zoom in on the outside of the club, this is around the time that Julio and his entourage are about to leave.
What's going on at this point?
At this point, the victim and his entourage are leaving Truth 18.
At this point in time, had you seen the black Chevy Impala yet?
No.
And what are we seeing here?
The black Chevy Impala arriving. It's pulling into the Enterprise parking lot there in the top left.
And is this the first time that we have seen the black Chevy Impala at this location?
Correct.
Detective, can you still see where the black Chevy Impala is at this point?
Yeah, it just backed out of a spot, and it's now driving out onto a bush. Shooting across in northbound on that street.
And where is Truth 18 in relation to this camera angle?
Top right off the screen.
And what can we see now?
The black Impala has returned and is now at the stop sign facing southbound.
And is that in the upper right-hand corner of the screen?
Correct.
What are we seeing in this video screen?
This is from the first floor, pointing northeast. At the very top center of the screen is actually that intersection where the Impala ultimately stops at the stop sign. But this is the victim's entourage going to their vehicles.
Okay. Can you get up and kind of point where that intersection is just so the jury knows where to look?
Sure. At some point in the top center, there's a stop bar there, and that's where the black Impala will be visible for a little bit while it's stationed there. There's the Impala, top center.
Again, right at that intersection, almost in the center of the screen at the top.
Correct.
So right now, the shooters and the surveillance team waiting on Julio to pull out. They got eyes on him. And the shooters, they sitting right across the street with a clear view of that parking lot. And I'm going to show y'all here in just a minute. Y'all know we got to do that map work. They sitting. And again, they watching, plotting, and planning.
Okay, what are we seeing here?
The victim and his entourage originally went east in the parking lot. They made a U-turn and came back west. So what we're seeing them is now coming back. This is taking McRae's Ultima. They're going to come out of the parking lot, go onto Bush, where they can only make a right to go east. And in the top left of the screen, you'll see a left turn lane. They'll get into that left turn lane so they can make a U-turn to go back west on Bush towards McKinley. There's the victim's Charger in the turn lane, followed by Armani Turner's Nissan Altima making the U-turn. And then
What vehicles?
Nissan Altima.
Okay.
So here go Truth 18 right here. Right up here. Let's get a little closer. See, the lounge right there. And those steps where Julio was doing his live is right there behind that stone wall. And then Julio and them was parked right out here in the front. Right up in here. So they was in front of the building. And then if you go down a little bit, Alicia and Isaiah, they had to be parked somewhere over here. Had to be. Because when we seen them on the footage, they was walking this way. And then remember that screenshot at 410? Look at the angle of it. So they walked this way. They stopped at this sign right here. And then they walked back this way. So they had to be parked over here somewhere. And then remember when the detective said that the shooters, the black Chevy, was parked at Enterprise parking lot? Enterprise is right here on the same side of the street as Truth Lounge. See? You can see Truth Lounge from Enterprise. And then remember, the black Chevy pulled out of Enterprise and zoomed across the street. They came from here and went straight down this street right here. And then they must have turned around because then they're facing this way, like this car right here. And if you look closely, they have a clear view of the parking lot of Truth Lounge. They had a clear view. And then when Julio and them left, they went one way and then they turned around. They came out of the parking lot. Up there at that light, they came out of the parking lot. And then remember when the detective said that they made a U-turn? They made a U-turn right here. Right in front of where the shooters would have been sitting. As soon as they made their U-turn, everybody headed this way. They was on their ass. Everybody going this way right now.
And why did you leave the second spot?
It was getting late. We was getting tired.
And where were you going after you left the second spot?
To find a hotel to crash.
Don't forget, Julio and them got kicked out of their Airbnb earlier in the night. And so now that the night is over and everybody winding down, they got to find somewhere to sleep. So they ended up at Home to Suites, which is about 8 to 9 minutes away from Truth 18.
There's the victim's Charger leading the 3 cars, and then the other 2 cars, which are the Amani Turner's Hyundai Santa Fe and Taylor McRae's Nissan Altima. And then now they're making a right into the Homes to Suites parking lot.
As soon as the surveillance team spotted Julio turning into Home to Suites at 4:25 a.m., they sent a live location to the shooters. And now the shooters are en route to their hotel. You see, the hotel had cameras, but we learned that the timestamp on the cameras were off by 1 minute and 45 seconds. Now, there's Julio and his entourage pulling up to the hotel. And they seemed a little bit confused at first about, which way to go. But they pull up to that front door of the hotel at roughly 4:27 a.m. Once they get situated, you see Julio sitting in the car for a minute. There you go. And then he's going to get out the car. See, he's out the car. He goes inside only to learn that they can't get a room there. So he's going to get back in the car. And he gets back to the car at 4:31 a.m. So, they sitting there probably trying to come up with a plan B. And while they're sitting there, the shooters are coming.
So, Detective, what was happening there?
That was the suspect Black Impala arriving at that same left turn that the victims made a U-turn and then made a right into the Homes to Suites parking lot.
And as soon as the shooters turned in the parking lot, the surveillance team is right behind them.
All right, you see the cruise?
Yes.
And you see the red light?
Yes.
When he ran the red light, what was going on in your head?
Why is he driving crazy?
Did you say anything to him at that point in time?
Yeah, I'm like, where you going?
Did you look at him?
Yeah.
So she's still playing like she don't know what's going on. They running red lights and everything. And at this point, I would imagine they feel like they running out of time to catch up with Julio. It's after 4 a.m. It's now or never. Let's take a look at what happened when we get all 3 groups at the hotel at the same time. Pay attention.
And sir, this is all put together in chronological time. Is that correct? Stitching together the various videos.
Okay, correct. Easier to follow.
And what is being shown right there, what that car just passed?
That's the Impala arriving into the Homes to Suites parking lot.
And are you showing the path of travel of that black Chevy Impala?
Correct. Driving northbound through the parking lot.
And again, it has not passed in front of those victims' vehicles. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what is happening here?
It arrived on the west side of the Homestead Suites, and it's turning around.
And is it now parking in that space that you had designated in States Exhibit 45 by that red rectangle?
It stages until the cruise arrives, and then once the cruise arrives, it starts to park, yes.
And that is the cruise passing again right in front of the victim's vehicle?
Correct.
And where is the black Chevy Impala at this point?
The Impala is passing in front of the Tesla with the cruise right behind it.
What's the cruise doing at this point?
It turned around and is now headed back out the way it came in.
And then where is the black Chevy Impala?
The black Impala, while the silver cruise is turning around, is pulling into the parking space. There's the tail lights, and it's backing in. You can see it from in between the top of the van and the white pillar there in the center of the screen.
And now is it parked?
Right now, it's fully in the spot.
And that is the spot that you designated on your diagram, is that correct?
With a red block, yes.
And what is happening with the silver Chevy Cruze?
The cruise is driving out the way it came in, passing the victim's location.
What are you capturing now in this video footage?
The three shooters came out of the Impala and are walking towards the victim's position. This is them passing the Tesla, various angles.
Did you see the person with the handgun?
Yes, bottom right of the screen.
During the course of this shooting, did anyone from the victim's vehicles, those two other vehicles, ever get out of the vehicle and approach the victim in his vehicle?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Did any of the victims in those two vehicles that fled, the Nissan Altima and the Hyundai, did any of them get out of those vehicles before fleeing?
No.
Did the two persons that got out of the black Nissan Altima, Miss Aaliyah Albritton and Tafa McCrae, did any of them ever come out of the hotel while the shooting was occurring?
No.
Now what is being shown here?
This is the victim's vehicle driving north. The shooters are running by the Tesla with the third shooter in the back there still shooting.
And what vehicle, based on all this video footage, are the shooters pursuing?
The black Dodge Charger containing the victim.
Oh yeah, they got him. And the two guys that was in the car with Julio, they was lucky as hell, wasn't they? I mean, they was shot, but they didn't die. At 4:38 a.m., when Alicia and Isaiah pulled out of their hotel parking lot, Julio was dead by 4:40.
Yeah, I heard shots.
All right, tell me about the shots that you heard.
It was like a lot, and I looked at him like my mouth open, like you heard that? But he didn't really pay attention to me. He like, what? So I didn't say anything.
After that, what happens?
He waits a little bit, then he drives off back to the Airbnb.
All right. At this point in time, what's going on in your head?
I mean, I heard a lot of shots, so I didn't know what went on. Somebody shooting in the air, somebody got shot at. I didn't know.
Did you know that somebody died?
No.
Did you know that someone got shot?
Hey, Judge.
No.
This bitch. She didn't do herself no favors with all these lies. Now, we just rolled through the timeline, and it was clear to me that Alicia was a part of this plan to kill Julio. She probably didn't know all the details, but she knew enough. She knew enough. and she was brought on this road trip to help Isaiah as part of the surveillance team. See, now they hit all these spots, got out, walked around, keeping their eyes on Julio, tracking his movement, and they did it looking like a normal couple. That was the play. If you see a guy walking around outside a club with his girl, you're not thinking that this guy out there trying to kill nobody. He with his girl. He looked less dangerous, okay? From 1:40 a.m. to 4:40 a.m., while they rode the streets of Tampa, everything Alicia and Isaiah did that night was all about being incognito and inconspicuous. Inconspicuous means not drawing attention, like the way they were dressed, especially her. Probably no makeup, hair not done. She couldn't be out there dressed up because let's be real here. She is a pretty girl, okay? But she couldn't be out there trying to follow a nigga dressed like this. You understand what I'm saying? It may draw attention to them. And as the surveillance team, that was attention that they did not want nor need, okay? And then, like I said, they were trying to be incognito. Incognito means hiding one's true identity. Y'all heard Robert say, if he'd have saw them out there in those parking lots, he would have been alarmed. It wouldn't be normal. So think about the COVID mask. Listen to Alicia's explanation for those masks.
Is there a reason why you have on a mask in this video?
Yeah, I was pregnant at the time, so I didn't want to smell any smoke and prevent like any health issues.
Why did you think that you might inhale smoke?
Because usually the clubs in my city, like the lounges, as soon as you go in, they let you smoke, so it'd be a lot of smoke in there. I didn't know how it was down here, but just in case, I wore one.
All right. Did you wear a mask to conceal your identity?
No.
Yes, she did. So, because she's pregnant, she said she wore a mask so she wouldn't have to inhale any smoke. Okay. Well, what about when they was at McDonald sitting in that car with Davion? You know, when he was smoking at 1:52 a.m. She wasn't wearing no mask then. And not to mention, they were both wearing masks, not just her. She full of shit. Her job was to help keep an eye on Julio until the plan was carried out and he was murdered. In part 3 of this trial ride, I'm going to highlight and break down the timeline of their movements after they murdered Julio. Stick with me.
All right, Ms. Andrews, you're charged with 2 counts. One is first-degree murder, and the other is conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Did you know that Charles Jones was going to die on June 23rd of 2024?
No, I did not.
Did you have any involvement in Charles Jones's murder?
No, I did not.
Did anyone tell you anything about a plot to kill Charles Jones when you went to Tampa?
No, they didn't.